ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Media Mania Podcast. Today is a very special episode. It is the very first female pro wrestler on the Media Mania Podcast. And what a more awesome guest could be than Magnolia Grace, the Mother of Mayhem. Magnolia, thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, like it's awesome to have the first female pro wrestler on the show and shining a light on indie wrestling. That's what I'm dying to do with this.
I'm excited to be here for sure.
So, what was the moment that you knew that you wanted to be a pro wrestler? Like, what was there a specific moment or specific match that made you say, "I want to do that. This is something I can do"?
I feel like there's been a couple different chapters in my life where I've gone back and forth on doing it. I think the most notable memory I have, it wasn't, sitting down watching WWE with my family or anything like that. But a Netflix series called Glow came out, and it kind of highlighted the world of women's wrestling. And I remember up to that point, I had seen bits and pieces of wrestling. And all I had ever seen was males, very large men just getting in the ring doing it. And when I saw that, I kind of realized oh, this makes sense. Like girls can do this. It's more than just the bikinis and the mud pits and all the gimmicky stuff that was women's wrestling at the start. But I remember watching Glow and kind of telling my dad, that's what I want to do. I want to do that one day.
So were there any specific female wrestlers that you drew your inspiration from?
I don't know that I would say I drew a lot of inspiration from any one person. Magnolia Grace is something that I haven't seen exist in the world of women's wrestling. She's Southern, but she's a Southern belle. She's very classy and refined. I really enjoy watching Toni Storm. And so a lot of times I can see a little bit of character development from that. There's a little crazy side to Magnolia. And I think watching Liv Morgan and her descent into madness has kind of played into that a little bit too. So I guess there is some inspiration out there.
I know. I talked to you about this off camera, but now you bring it up. You do remind me of Lacey Evans and Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm all just rolled into one person.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw Jamie Hayter on AEW, you have the same kind of hairstyle that she once had. Okay, she's got the whole Jamie Hayter thing going on.
And I love what Jamie Hayter is today. The 70s gimmick is it's unlike anything I've seen, and the fashion, it's all there. It's all one piece, and it makes sense for her character. So I was very flattered when you said that.
So what kind of wrestler do you want to become? Do you want to be a technical wrestler, a powerhouse, a high flyer, character driven? What do you want Magnolia Grace to be? Do you want her to be a technical wrestler like Daniel Bryan, or a high flyer like Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles?
I am actually really terrified of heights. And going backwards, doing any flips, my trainer will say the same thing. I'm sure he gets so frustrated watching me do things because I am very petite, and it almost makes sense for me to want to do the high flyer stuff, but I'm nope, I'm too scared. I'll leave that to the real professionals. I really enjoy Joshi style wrestling. So very Japanese strong style is kind of my go-to. I'm all about the storytelling, but I really, really like those graps. So
and they're strong style is more than just their striking. When they strike you, they make you feel it.
I've got a pretty nasty chop, so we'll leave it like that.
I know Minoru Suzuki from New Japan, he was he was one of my favorite strong style wrestlers today, and I would dread having to take a chop from him because he has one of the most dangerous chops today.
I remember begging for weeks when I first started training. I'm can we get into strikes? Can we do strikes? And they're are you sure? I'm I'm ready. And I took that first one, and it It was not great.
So, what was the reaction from your family and friends when you told them you were going to pursue this?
I kind of got mixed reactions. I have always been very out of the box, I guess. I played sports growing up, but I wasn't ever really good at anything.
Yeah.
And then my athleticism kind of died down out of high school. And so the last few years, like I haven't done anything physical. And 2025 was kind of the year of reshaping that. And I'm in the best shape of my life. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And I think everyone was kind of like, okay, this is what she's going to do now. This is what she's on now. And now they're realizing like, oh, she's like actually doing this. Like this is something that she wants. So it's been nothing but love and support from them, and just pure excitement for what's to come.
Okay. So, I know every wrestler, whether it be male or female, they like have their own way they do their entrance. Like, do you have like a certain style you want your entrance to be? Like, do you want it to be like like AJ Lee, or like do you want it to be like a Liv Morgan or like a Rhea Ripley?
Kind of the when I think of my entrance, I always go to Mina Shirakawa and the little dance that she does when she comes in. It's just so poppy and full of energy, and it just gets the room moving and invested. I want that like showstopper entrance that goes, okay, we're gonna like her no matter what.
Okay, I can respect that 100%. I can. So I know you haven't had your first match yet, but like, who is someone on the indie scene you love to face? Like that is on the indie scene right now that you just are seeing that you're like, okay, I want to get in the ring with this person. I want to see what I can do against them.
There are so many incredible. I'll spotlight females for a minute because that's really kind of where I want to go. There is such a strong um, world of female wrestlers right now in the indie scene, and I've been fortunate enough to befriend a few. But Gabby Forza is a force to be reckoned with, and if I ever had the chance to work her, I would probably die. Like just a pure excitement. I absolutely love everything that she's doing in the wrestling scene right now, or in the indie scene, and she's such an inspiration. She's such a sweetheart. And I think she's got a pretty nasty chop too, if I'm not mistaken. And I would be very pleased to take that one day.
What about I don't know if it was you that told me about her, but the Nomi. I don't know if you'd want like
Yeah, that's Gabby Forza. She's the Nomi. She's my homie, the Nomi.
Yeah, and I would not want to piss her off because I'd be having to worry about her plus Bear Bronson. Like it's. And I actually got to meet Bear this past week over the weekend in Nashville at TNA. I'm like, and I thought I was a big dude. I thought I was tall. I'm like, I'm looking. I'm like, what are they feeding you?
Right. Watching the two of them, I don't like blood. I don't like any of that. However, there's something about watching GCW death matches. I really love it. In any other sense of the world, if someone's even my daughter, if she scrapes her knee, I'm like, nope, go to your dad. I can't deal with it. But something about watching death matches, it scratches an itch in my brain I didn't know I had. And I absolutely just love watching the two of them together when they do get all bloody and brutal.
Oh yeah. She is a straight badass, just like Bear.
Yeah.
And GCW, it is for a certain crowd. Like I've said this on so many episodes now, but I love talking about the story. I went to WrestleMania last year in Vegas, and I got one of the most awesome things I got to see. I got to see Sabu's last match against Joey Janela. And just that whole match and that was the only time I'd ever seen Sabu in a match.
Yeah.
But I've like in person. But I've seen so many videos of him, so many tapes of him. Like for that being his last match, he went out being only like Sabu could be. He went out being Sabu.
Yeah. And I remember watching that match and just thinking like, oh my God, just my jaw was on the floor. But I think I was already a little full from the Gabe Kidd Mance Warner match. with the screwdriver spot. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can watch this.
They turn it up to 10, and sometimes they go past 10 with it.
0 to 100 real quick.
It is. So, what is your long-term goal? Like, do you have like? I know everyone's for the longest they were chasing that brass ring, which was WWE, but now you have like other promotions, like you have AEW, you have TNA, you have New Japan, you have Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan, you have MLW. There's so many promotions now. Even like Booker T's show in Houston, Row, you have them. Like there's so many other. House of Glory in New York, or Fourth Rope, which is ran by West Side Gun. Are like, do you have any plans or any of those ones you're aiming for?
It's hard, especially at the stage that I'm at in my life right now. You know, I'm nearing 30. I've got a daughter at home. I never started this with the intention of being the next big thing. Obviously, if it happens, great. I'm not going to turn that down. But I think the environment that I kind of envision myself with the style that I'm pursuing is very Stardom and AEW centric, if that makes sense. You know, I like the WWE, but when I found out that there was a whole world out there more than just WWE, it was very eye-opening, and I definitely think that I would be more AEW focused and Stardom and have those kind of connections and bounce between the two.
Yeah, of course. So, what, in your opinion, I know everyone has their own opinion on what it looks like, but what does success in wrestling mean to you personally? Like, what does it look like to you?
I think a lot of it boils down to self-fulfillment. You know, success is just feeling like I did it. You know, I got in there, I did what I came to do, and I made it happen. You know, giving up isn't an option. There are days that are so hard and make me think like, why am I doing this? Am I sure this is what I want? But ultimately, success for me is just being able to look in the mirror at the end of a match and saying, you did it again.
I love it. I love hearing everyone's perspective on it. And I want, just for a second, you have a fan in the comments. You have one of your fans in the comments, 801 Athletics, saying, "We love Magnolia Grace. You're going to take this world by storm." You already have a fan base. Like you are like, and I do agree with them. I think you're going to take the pro wrestling world by storm. No pun intended, because I know there's someone that's coming, but I think you are going to take the pro wrestling world by storm. I guess I'm gonna be honest. I've like the style, like just the photos I've seen of how your style looks. Like I haven't seen it before.
Yeah, and that's what I want to be, is different.
Yeah, it's like Southern Belle meets strong style. Like, okay, I could get behind this.
Yeah,
it's different. So I know you. When I was researching a little bit about you, you trained with 801 Athletics, like as that was in your bio. Like, how did you come to work with them?
So I actually have two different forms of training that I'm doing. You know, in addition to the wrestling training, I wrestle with Utah United Wrestling training. And then I do personal training with 801 Athletics. So I've got a personal trainer that's preparing me for bodybuilding. That's kind of what started this was, okay, I'm going to get in the best physical shape of my life and I'm going to do bodybuilding. And I found her on Facebook, and when we met, we clicked. We are absolute best friends. You know, she did my makeup for my photo shoot. She is definitely like driving me to help with my social media interactions and my bookings and how I kind of display myself to the world. But I definitely threw her for a curve when I said, hey, I'm going to wrestle. Because that was a very new thing. I mean, back in December, I made the decision and contacted Trey Matthews with Dive Pro Wrestling. I'm like, hey, I want to train him and Brad over at IWR. They kind of work together. They're like, we're going to set up a training facility. We're going to get you in here and we're going to get you moving. And they have done nothing shy of getting me prepared for my debut and just making sure that I feel comfortable and confident in a training space.
So, how did you come to choose them for your training? Were you recommended to them by someone else in the business, or did you just is that the closest one that was to you?
So I know a lot of people will say it's worth traveling for training if you get good training. Fortunately for me, they're close, so I didn't have that was one thing. They're close, but that's not the whole reason I chose them. I understand like traveling is worth it. But my husband's deployed right now, so it's just me and my little girl, and I needed somewhere that not only I felt safe and comfortable, but that she would also be welcomed.
Yeah.
And we had gone to a few different IWR shows and had made connections with some of the wrestlers and the promoters. And through that, it was just, it felt safe. It felt comfortable. And it felt like, okay, I'm going to learn from professionals that know what they're doing, that are going to take the time to make it a very small interaction. There's not, there's not 30 people lined up for training. It's a very almost one-on-one style training, which works better for me because I'm old and I don't I don't retain information the way that these young birds do. So
I get that. Like I'm very hands on. Like you have to show. Like you can't just tell me what to do. Like I have to like be doing it while you're doing it. Otherwise, when you throw me to the wolves, I'm gonna look at you like you threw me here. Like you didn't do it right.
yeah, exactly. Well, and I'm very safe, not just for myself, but for other people. I'm a very big empath. So I worry about other people and I'm like, if I do this wrong and you get hurt, I'm gonna feel really bad. So teach me to do it the right way.
That's see, and I keep hearing that in this business, you are your brother's keeper or you are your sister's keeper. Like when you're in that ring together, like you have to know what you're doing with each other. Otherwise, someone's gonna get hurt and it could end their career or worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's definitely I'm when I get in the ring, I'm putting my life in someone else's hands, and it's still a scary thought sometimes. So I might be a little picky who I work, but
So, how do you handle your criticism from your trainer or trainers? Like, what do you do to handle your criticism?
I cry. No, my
That's
trainer's
the same
great.
thing.
I don't cry. I like I said, I grew up playing different sports, and my dad was actually my coach for many of those sports. So I got a lot of the tough love kind of growing up.
Mhm.
In the aspect of like criticism and stuff. It wasn't really like a hey, you need to do better next time. It was what the hell are you doing? So I respond pretty well to more not aggressive, but just more direct constructive
Yeah.
criticism, as long as it is that, as long as it's constructive. Um, but the biggest thing is just listening, opening your ears and listening, drinking from the fire hose, even though it's a lot, like just soaking in as much information as you can and doing good to remember like, hey, you landed wrong on this. Okay, try it again. And just taking those little corrections and making yourself better each time you do it.
Okay. So, I don't know if you've ever watched it, but I came up with this question because I watched a lot of it, the Dark Side of the Ring series. What is the dark side of chasing this dream? I know, like, I don't know if you like you're still new in the business, but I know there's a dark side to chasing this dream. Like, there's stuff that people don't see that goes on that you have to face to get through it.
Um, I think one of the hardest things, and I haven't had to experience it yet, but obviously when I start doing matches and I start traveling, the closeness that I have with my family, my husband and my daughter, there's going to be times that they can't travel with me, and I think it scares me that I'm going to miss out on some things. Fortunately, she's older, so it's not like I'm missing out on the baby years and stuff, but I definitely think that there's some sadness when it comes to having a family in this industry.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I have people I know here. I'm friends with the promoter here in Nashville, and he has 3 kids, and he has to go look at buildings to run shows at, or he has to book the cards, and And even just that, it takes time away from your family and all that.
Yeah.
So the character Magnolia Grace, is your character an extension of you or the opposite of you? Because everyone tells me that I've ever interviewed that it's just who you are, just turned up to 10.
Yeah. So I grew up in Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
and it's unfortunate. I went through vocal lessons and stuff in middle school and high school, and it kind of like kicked the Southern dialect out. But if I try real hard, I promise I sound like I'm from the South. So Magnolia Grace is an embodiment of me. You know, my tagline is, "I ain't trailer trash, but I'll whoop your ass." And that's the biggest
Oh,
thing. I didn't grow up in the trailer park.
yeah.
I grew up, very respectable family, but I was a hood rat deep down, and I got into some trouble, and I thought nothing could stop me, um, and I think that's just who she is times 1,000.
Okay. See, and that's why I keep hearing it's just who you are, just turned up to 10 or sometimes turned up to 11.
Yeah.
So, how important do you think social media is today for pro wrestlers or promoters or just in pro wrestling in general? How important is social media today than it was maybe 20 years ago?
I think it's really important. You reach audiences that you wouldn't normally be able to reach just by doing local shows. You get engagement. There's the monetization aspect of Facebook and Instagram, and being able to capitalize on the fact that you have people all over the world watching you, rooting for you. Um, for me, even though I haven't wrestled a match, I think I've got a pretty strong following already, just in the way that I presented myself on social media. One of the biggest things that I see, and maybe I should kick myself for saying this because I'm not a real wrestler, um, people will really try to promote themselves, but they're promoting themselves in the wrong way. They don't have the correct videos, or they're taking pictures in their gear in their kitchen instead of like getting actual live shots, and doing all of these things and really making sure that they have that polished look that promoters are looking for. I see it all the time. People say, you want to get to WWE, but this is how you look, and this is how you portray yourself, and this is how you show up to shows. You've got food stains on your shirt, and you just don't take care of yourself. It's kind of the same thing in promoting yourself on social media. You have to have that polished and clean look. Otherwise, people aren't going to book you.
No, they're not. Like they want someone that can, pardon my language for a second, that can put asses in seats.
Exactly.
Because if you can't put asses in seats, they don't want you nowhere near their show.
Exactly. And I think you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do have people like that on your roster, it's definitely worth telling everybody else, hey, let's pick them up. Let's all get everybody on the same page, so that we all represent one polished, clean promotion.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've been to so many indie shows that some of the guys there, they look like $1,000,000, and some of them wrestle in just like something you'll see someone in the crowd where I'm like, okay, I guess.
Well, and that's not to say that
And
everyone
it's not a
has to
bad
go
thing.
and spend $400, $500, $600 on gear. That's not it at all.
No.
Just look clean, look
Mm-hmm.
presentable, and act like you want to be there. There's so many people that go in and they don't want to be there. They think it's a hassle for setup and tear down, and they just want to get in there, do their show, and be done. But these people are here to see you.
Mm-hmm.
So treat them like they've earned your time and your effort, because they're the ones putting money in your pocket at the end of the night.
Yep. And I know as soon as you have your first match, I know you'll probably start looking into it. Do you plan on having like merch, like Magnolia Grace, like T-shirts or
Oh
like
yeah.
a whole merch table? Because that's one of the things that I love. Like when you go to shows, like you see these wrestlers, they have their merch table set up because that's their extra money. Like because they might not make much off what the promoter gives them, and that merch table that might get them what they need to get to the next town or get them a motel room because they don't want to drop. because I've spoken to so many people, like they have to drive 10, 11 hours to the next town after being there at the show for hours already.
Yeah. So I've already started kind of working t-shirts, some prints, just some stickers, little things, because again, I think that presentation matters. So while I'm not necessarily doing it so that I can get rich off of my merch, I'm doing it because I am a product that I'm selling.
Yeah.
Magnolia Grace is this powerhouse, and she needs to be presented as such. So in order to do that, I have to have things that are accessible to the fans. If it's there, people will buy it. And if you're not buying merch, go buy merch at your local shows, because that feeds people. That gives them the excitement to continue doing what they're doing when they're wrestling for you.
They want to see you wearing their shirts in the crowd, or like I see people out just when I'm out at my local stores wearing like wrestler shirts that I know from any show. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, I always stop and say, hey, I love the shirt. I'm a big fan of them. So me too. Like, when are you going to the next show that they're on? Like, of course, I'll always be there.
Yeah. It's a good conversation piece too. People are going to look at it and go, what is that? And you may get a new wrestling fan out of it.
Oh, most definitely. So from the trainers you have that are training you in to get started in the wrestling business, how, in your opinion, from what they've taught you so far, how important is strength versus agility versus like ring psychology?
Ooh, I think it's hard to prioritize any of it. They're all extremely important, and they all go hand in hand. You don't have to be the strongest, and I think coordination is way more important than strength. But strength matters, and it kind of goes back to that whole: if you look like this, you're not going to get to this. Obviously, if I'm trying to pick somebody up that's like 400 pounds, like a giant man, it's not going to be believable. But I put in the work physically to build my strength and do strength training and stuff. So I think it becomes more like, oh, she can do that. That's not a surprise. Like, she can absolutely handle that. As far as the agility goes, coordination's everything. Agility is everything. Cardio is so important. And I didn't realize just how important it was until probably my third training, and we were just doing step-ups for 10 minutes straight, and I wanted to die.
I get that. Like, I'm a former football player. I played football from Pee-wee all the way through high school, and there were 2-a-day, 3-a-day practices, and by the end of the 3-a-day practice, I wanted to just die. I wanted to just, like, the coach would tell us jog it off the field. I'm like, I'll just lay there in the field for like 5 minutes. I would literally I literally said this out loud to my coach one time. He said, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm laying here. I'm dying. Get your ass off my field." I'm like, and I told him straight up where to go and how to get there and how quick.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot. And I never realized just the amount of athleticism and everything that went into it. But then down to the psychology, like, there is so much that people don't realize in this industry, in this business. And even still, like, my brain at the end of trainings, I'm just like, I can't even think.
It crams so much into your mind at once. It's like you have to consume it all at once. You can't just stop. So, what has been your favorite part about your training so far?
I think realizing what I'm capable of.
Okay.
Because I spent so long being okay at things, that now that I have something that I'm actually pretty good at, I'm like, oh, I could have done this all along. And it's empowering, especially as someone that has various health issues and has dealt with a lot health-wise in the last few years. Being able to, like, take back my body and take back my health and have that mindset of, I can do this. It's just, it's been probably the best part about it. I feel like I love life again.
And the posts I've seen you made on your social media, like when you were posting your live shots of you and your gear, I'm like, she has a passion. I can see the passion. I can see it. Like she's gonna do something with it. Like she's gonna also she'll probably be all over the country in the next 2 years doing shows.
Yeah. And that's the hope. I really hope that I can get to that level.
Because if you're in this sport and you don't love it, why are you here? Like what are you doing in our sport?
Yeah.
So I know you were talking about you love the strong style, and you're also talking about how you have an itch for the death match style too. Do you have like a dream match style, like a dream match that you want to do, or and a dream opponent in that match?
I don't know that I've thought that far into it.
Okay.
I blow myself away every day with how far I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's just even the thought of being asked to be on certain promotions and to have a debut and do all that, it's still mind blowing to me. I haven't quite wrapped my head around it. I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I'm like, I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to be doing this, that I haven't blessed myself with the thought of doing something more.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. So, oh, where'd it go? I just had it. Do you feel inspired by the current women's wrestling boom? Like, cause you were talking about like there's so many awesome female wrestlers out there today. Like, and especially and I don't know if you know her or not. You probably do. Her name's Nikki Blackheart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's got a tryout right now with the WWE, and I've gotten to see her at promotion here in Nashville. It's called CCW, and she's just like she's just a powerhouse, but for being a powerhouse, she can do some stuff that powerhouses shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
So, do you feel
Yes.
inspired by some of these women that are out there today, and like just how they're doing?
I do. I really do. I know some of the women that I kind of watch and follow, Amanda Kiss. I love seeing what Shotzi's doing in the indie scene right now. Absolutely adore her.
Oh, Shotzi,
But
yeah.
for me, it's really inspiring because I see the little girl that's sitting next to me in the seats at shows getting excited and asking, when are the girls coming out? When are the girls coming out?
Mm-hmm.
And that means more to me than any amount of inspiration I could feel. But just seeing that my daughter's going to realize she can do this based on what she's seeing being brought to the table from other women in the industry right now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And it's not even women who are just only on the indie scene. It's women who have been in WWE that like weren't allowed to shine on that big stage, but when they leave WWE and they go back on the indie scene, you actually get to see them like show their full potential when they're
Yeah.
away from a bigger promotion. Like
Yeah.
you're
Watching
like
the
Shotzi, Gigi Dolan. Like, well,
one of the
Priscilla Kelly
matches
on the
I
indies,
think
yeah.
that stuck out to me, and really made me realize like women have a place in this world, in this industry, and in this business was the Tony Storm Mariah May Hollywood ending match at
Mm-hmm.
AEW Revolution. Watching that and seeing it, it's like what Chris Statlander said a couple weeks ago in an interview. She said, women, this is a time we get to choose when we bleed. And just hearing that, I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to look at like these type of matches, and like it put me in a completely different mindset of like whether I could handle death matches or not. But
Mm-hmm.
that aside, like seeing the storytelling and the presentation of that match and realizing like these are two beautiful women that 20 years ago would have been thrown in swimsuits and said, hey, go over there for intermission real quick and just entertain everybody and then be on your way. Like it's mind-blowing seeing just how big women's wrestling has started to make a difference and make waves in the wrestling business.
Oh yeah, especially and I'm sure you have an opinion on it. The whole WWE ID thing, like where they're doing like all these indie promotions, they're getting spotlighted by the WWE ID. Like, you have like all these female wrestlers who are getting their shot because of that. Like,
Mhm.
and it's not just the males either. Like I said, it's the females. They're getting the light shine on them because of the ID program.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if it was you that made a post, but it was Lainey Luck, the current female WID champion. She's like having a hell of a run because of the ID program.
Yeah. I was actually watching one of her videos before hopping on, and I was like, "Ooh, I really like this girl."
Mm-hmm. And it is amazing to go from what it was like when you had the bra and panties matches with Sable, Tori Wilson, and all them to what it is now. Chris Statlander, the Tony Storms, the Mariah Mays. It's amazing how far it's come.
Yeah.
And even you have women, not just in AEW, but you have women who do like Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. And I might catch some grief for saying Charlotte Flair because I was not always the biggest Flair fan, and it wasn't because of her talent; it was because of the last name.
Right.
I thought she was always getting the opportunities because of her last name, but she is so like the more I go and watch her matches, like she's just like she's so much more than the Flair last name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she definitely she cashed in on that opportunity, and she's made it something big and powerful.
She did. So, what is the headline you want written about you 5 years from now? Like you're 5 years, 6 years into your career. What do you want the headlines to read about you?
I don't even know. Local mom pushes daughter into training. I don't know. My everything that I do, I know that I keep mentioning her, but everything that I do in this is for my little girl. My first day of training, I remember one of the trainers asked her, who's your favorite wrestler? And she turned and pointed to me. And it almost brings tears to my eyes just thinking about that, because you don't realize that little eyes are watching you and that you're making such an impact. But I think she's 7 years old now, so quick math, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, she'll be 12. She's just a little ways off from being able to train, but maybe just being able to start pushing her image, because this is something she wants to do. And at that point, being able to say, hey, you're a second generation wrestler. The headlines reading, her name is Mother of Mayhem. So, if you think about the name, it all is lined up. The Mother of Mayhem. She's going to come and she's going to take the world by storm. And maybe it'll just be about the two of us at that point.
So you were speaking of your husband earlier. Like, does he get to see like a lot of your training, like via like FaceTime or anything?
So I'll send him some videos. It's a little hard trying to FaceTime and do things, but I've definitely sent him some videos. And there's been times that he's been like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you okay? And then I have to go over everything and say, no, it's okay. Everything's fine.
He's gonna have a hands full when he starts actually going to see you at shows. He's gonna like having fans just like be all around your merch table and want your autograph. He's
right.
Like, she actually went through with this. She made something of this.
Yeah, we've talked a few times about when he comes back. We may get him into training, and we'll just be a wrestling family, and that's just what we'll do. So who knows? Maybe the husband of Magnolia Grace will make an appearance at some point.
See, and I love that because it reminds me of Deonna Purrazzo and her husband Steve Macklin, because I did not know this for the longest time about Steve Macklin. He's a veteran. He's a veteran. And he went from being in the military to being a pro wrestler, and he's just the transition from military life to pro wrestler. And the thing is, he took so much of his military stuff and he interpreted it into his wrestling style and his character he portrays.
Yeah.
So I would love to see that if your husband got into it and like y'all could do something just like that.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun, and I think it would be a legacy to be built for sure.
So, when is I know you're talking about it off camera. You're asking me about it. When is your debut match?
So I'm super excited because I have just in the last few weeks found out that I will be debuting with the Lucha Project here in Utah on March 21st at Weber State. We'll be doing a showcase. It's kind of set up with like a 3-day fem-led weekend. So night one is going to be a co-ed battle. A deathmatch battle, I think. And then the second night is going to be all female wrestlers. And then third night will end with a showcase for the college.
Okay.
And that's where I'll be.
I keep hearing that. I keep hearing about them. I've been like, they keep popping up now in my feed, like, and they do, and I know they do like a death match. I seen they were doing death match. So I'm like, why have I not heard about them till now? I know they're like on the West Coast, but like, I'm sure I would have heard about them because I follow other people who are involved in the death match style community. I'm like, why have I not heard about them yet? I hear about everyone else. Why have I not heard about these people?
Yeah. So they're a very like DIY punk, and not necessarily deathmatch centric. But they're one of the promotions that'll do some deathmatch style stuff. But a lot of times they'll bring in live bands, or they'll even do some of those rave shows, which are super cool. There's been a lot of like raves popping up where they do wrestling and just have DJs playing and lights and music and all the things. But the Lucha Project actually got to head up an event like that here in Salt Lake a couple months ago, and it was a huge hit. But yeah, very DIY, very punk. I mean, we just had Danhausen out here a month ago on one of their shows, and yeah, right. I was so excited. I'm like, this is what I need in my life.
Gotta love that Danhausen.
Right. But yeah, no, super great, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity to be able to represent their promotion.
Honestly, if I'm ever out that way, I will have to catch one of their shows because like it looks different from anything else I've seen in the wrestling community. It looks so much. It's a whole different kind of style that I haven't seen before. I'm like, I need to catch this. I don't care what it like. I went to Mania, like I was saying, I went to Mania and I spent that kind of money. I'll do that to see a different kind of wrestling. Like I might come away with a different experience, and a new respect for the business.
And that's what's so fun about being out here with the training facility. So it's run by two separate promotions, and you get a different vibe with both. I mean, IWR is a very family friendly, focused promotion, where Dive is a bunch of heavy hitters. I mean, they just did their 5-year anniversary, and it was insane. There was a ladder match. Like it was something I had never seen. Like I've watched it on TV, right? Like I watched WWE ladder matches, cool. But to see that in person the whole time, I'm just like, oh my God. And like I said, I'm an empath. So every time someone takes a bump, I'm going, ooh, are they okay?
Every time I see a ladder match, or if I see a ladder, like if I'm out and about, if I see a ladder, the only thing that goes through my mind is, why do I start hearing Jeff Hardy's music in my head. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it.
That's me with chairs, with folding chairs. I'm like, I could use that right now.
Because like growing up, I saw like the iconic TLC matches with the Hardys and Edge and Christian and the other. I'm like, but and it's not just with ladders. Like if I don't have a paper towel to dry my hands with or something, I'll start doing like the Jeff Hardy, like just start doing my hands like Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And it's not even, it's just reflex at this point because I'm so used to, like it's just so easy to do. It's like so easy to remember. That's all you got to do.
That's so funny because I do the same thing, but with Mercedes Moné. When I get in the ring, I just I'm doing my thing. Yeah. I'm just getting ready and warmed up. Yeah.
So, who did your gear? Like, who has made your gear for you, and who has like done your photography for you for your live shots?
So I have a friend, Katie Marie. She is with P&Me Photography here in Utah. And I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, I know that you do a lot of branding sessions. This is what I'm thinking. And she completely brought that dream alive. I mean, I have videos. I haven't shared them because I'm really bad at punching. But she got this really cute video of me throwing punches. And it looks great from an artistic standpoint. I just look like a fool because I don't know how to throw punches. She, you know, I kind of gave her a vision board and she took it and ran with it. And the pictures came out absolutely beautiful. My gear is actually, it's not custom. I went through Coquetry Clothing, I think is the name of it. I think that's how you say it. And kind of just found some random pieces on their site and built out the gear that I wanted. And that's kind of what I went with because my thought was having more for like bang for your buck kind of situation versus making custom gear for my debut and stuff. I wanted to just kind of have a couple pieces that I could have so that I could play with it and figure out who my character is and what she looks like.
Yeah, and it does look awesome. Like it's like I love when wrestlers actually take the time to actually put some effort and love into what their gear is going to look like, and just like you want to. It's like you were saying earlier, you want to look like you can get fans' attention and get them to be interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because it's like you said, you're selling a product. Like you're trying, like Magnolia Grace is a product.
Yeah.
So, what kind of is it just gonna be like your first match? Is it just like a regular standard wrestling match, or?
Yeah, so I will be going up against Trey Matthews. I think the most important part about this match, and I'm super excited because being military, I don't have family here, but you know they're all on the other side of the country, wondering how the heck are we going to watch it. The good news about this match is it's going to be on IWTV. Okay. So huge win there for anybody that's not here in Utah that can't make it. You can just tune into IWTV and you'll be able to watch that match. But like I said, I'll be going up against Trey Matthews. It'll be a hard hitting match, that's for sure. I'm excited to tone down his very masculine energy and put him in his place, we hope.
Just when you said tone down his masculine energy, the first thing that came to my head was Kit Wilson. I'm like,
we got it.
Oh yeah.
I tried not to call him toxic, but we know that Trey Matthews is a little bit of a bad boy, and Mama's coming to put him in his place.
And you were talking about IWTV. I keep hearing I've had to check them out because that just got where I've started seeing so much indie wrestling from, because there's indie wrestling all over the U.S. that I've never heard of, but there's talent on these shows that I like. Why have I not seen these guys yet, or why have I not seen these girls yet on a show? Like, why have I not seen them anywhere?
Yeah.
And I was introduced to the IWTV through another guest I had on, and it's an awesome product to go watch stuff that if you don't have access to going to these shows in person.
Yeah, some of these people will listen to audiobooks. Some people will listen to podcasts. Other people will tune into IWTV and watch the Lucha Project.
So, do you have your entrance picked out, like your music and all that you're going to come out to?
I have a couple ideas up my sleeve, and if anyone checks out my Instagram, they'll be able to hear some teasers. I try to plant little Easter eggs in all of my posts, and there's a couple different directions. I'm just trying to decide which way I want to go. But I think no matter what, it's definitely going to get people moving, and it's going to get people excited about my entrance.
I know the gear you're wearing in your pictures with the lightning is lightning, correct? It's supposed to be like lightning.
Yeah,
that's why the thunder roll. That's why I use the thunder rolls in the post, because it goes with it so well.
Yeah.
And with the cowboy hat and all, I'm like
it's a whole thing, and don't worry, the cowboy hat's part of the entrance. It'll be a staple.
I'm like, you don't see many female wrestlers trying to pull off the cowboy look. You don't see it. You see more men try to pull it off than you do the women.
Yeah.
So, are there any other opportunities in 2026 for Magnolia Grace, besides the Lucha Project, that you can't talk about?
I definitely think that there's opportunity with IWR and Dive Pro Wrestling. You know, I just got to get good. I got to feel confident in what I'm bringing to the table. You know, there's talk of travel. I won't tease it too much, but again, I would be grateful for any promotion that would have me. And right now I've got a few kind of reaching out saying, hey, when you're ready, let us know. So it's definitely exciting, and it makes me want to keep going.
Well, I would definitely love to see if you actually got to come out this way, because there's a lot of awesome promotions just here in just Tennessee in general. Like there's Memphis Wrestling in Memphis. There's Pro Wrestling Symphony in Nashville. There's Legendary Wrestling Alliance in Nashville. There's Top Rope Wrestling Alliance. There's Pro Wrestling Entertainment. There's Southern Wrestling Federation. There's just so many awesome promotions that run within just 2 hours of where I live, and they bring in some awesome talent.
Yeah, I know that there's one I've got my eye on, and I haven't really spoken to the promoters or anything, but I want to make it a trip to go back home and visit my family. And there's a promotion out there that I'm hoping I can maybe smooth talk them into letting me work a match or two so that my family can be there in person to see it.
So you're planning on going in Alabama? Because I know you said you were originally from Alabama.
Yeah, so originally from Alabama, and I grew up in Florida, and that's kind of home base for me is Florida, Panama City.
Panama, deep sea fishing down to Panama.
Right.
I just hear Luke Combs whenever I hear Panama now. I hear Luke Combs.
Yep.
But if you ever do a show in Alabama, like you got to come out to at least one time in Alabama. You got to come out to Leonard Skinner Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a whole plethora of move sets, and I just keep thinking, how can I incorporate the Crimson Tide?
That's where you lose me. You lose me at Crimson Tide.
Oh, I don't know.
You lose me at the Crimson. You lose me there because we up here we're on Old Rocky Top.
Okay, I'll give you that. Go Vols, right? Is that right? I'm not a sports person, so I don't know. So if my dad's watching, he's gonna kill me after this.
So do you have other like gears that you plan on like coming out with besides the ones that you have posted with?
So I have one other that I'm kind of like holding on to. We might tease it one day. I really feel connected with that lightning set, and it just I feel like it packs a punch without saying anything.
Okay. So what kind of the shoes that you have on in the picture, are those like wrestling shoes, correct?
Yeah. It's so funny. Those were like my dream wrestling shoe. They're an Adidas Japan style wrestling shoe. They're gorgeous. The purple fringe gear that I had ordered was supposed to be closer in color to the shoes. Mm-hmm. And so when it came, I was pretty disappointed that it didn't match. But the goal is to get some custom gear to match the boots. And I feel like monthly I buy a new pair of wrestling shoes. So I need to stop with that because I think I have 4 pairs of wrestling shoes at this point, and I only started in December.
It's always good to have backup gear because you see so many stories of wrestlers having their gear lost in airports, or you have some crazy fan try to take their gear. I'm like, oh, at least when you work in WWE, you have these gear designers right there that work for WWE that they can get you gear faster if you lose it. But if you're on the indies, you have to wait for it to be either shipped to you or like even some indie wrestlers I know they make their own gears.
Yeah. And more power to them. I can't sew worth a shit. So
I can't. So I know you're still you're basically brand new to the business, but if you had to give advice to someone that has not even had their first month or has just been interested in getting into the business, what advice would you give them just off what you've learned already?
I would tell them not to get in their head. Their head can be a scary place to get stuck in, and I am speaking from experience. I get in my head a lot, and it gets in the way of me being able to do things beautifully in the ring. So staying out of your head and listening, but listening to the right people. So many people will come to you with advice and tips and tricks, and it's important to differentiate the good advice from the bad advice. Not bad advice. No one comes in and gives you advice with ill intentions. But it's definitely just be careful who you listen to and who you allow to shape your presence and yourself, I guess.
Okay. So is there any final message that you want to leave our listeners with?
I think if you're thinking about doing the thing, do the damn thing. Whether it's wrestling or a new hobby, any new hobby, like just dive in and do it, because I am having the most fun of my life. And even if my debut is the only match that I ever wrestle, I'm going to die happy knowing that I at least gave it a shot.
Like you got it. Like at least you did it. Like you could say you put your work into it. If it's one match, you put your damn 100% effort into that one match.
Exactly. And if you're gonna do it all the way. Go hard.
Yep. Like you gotta be like you were talking about earlier. You gotta be like Shotzi. You gotta just go head first and just go at it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Magnolia, for coming on the show today, and I've loved having you on and getting to hear about the Mother of Mayhem and just hearing what inspired you to do this and why you're doing it. And I can't wait to see your debut match on the IWTV with the Lucha Project, and you're gonna kick some ass.
Thank you so much. I love being here.
And if y'all haven't heard of Magnolia Grace, if you will scan that QR code in your top left-hand corner, it'll take you straight to her Instagram page. Give her a follow. Make sure to follow her journey, because this is me saying this. She's gonna be somewhere in the next couple of years. Like I see her being in AEW or in New Japan Stardom. And
thank you so much.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And if you've ever watched an episode of this podcast and you've stayed till the end, you know how the ending's about to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, as always, the Media Mania Mike World, and this has been my most amazing guest, Magnolia Grace, the Mother of Mayhem. This has been the Media Mania Podcast. And if you didn't catch this live, make sure you catch it on the video on demand. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side.